Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are unpacking a really high-stakes problem. It's one that faces a very specific kind of person, the elite performer.
Right.
We call them the operator, the executive, the entrepreneur, the person who demands peak performance in their career, but absolutely refuses to let their physical performance slide.
hmm
You've treated your body like a high-value asset for years, but now, well, now the old rules just don't apply anymore.
And that's the core paradox we pulled from all the sun-dried content. It's this dangerous divergence that happens.
It's divergence, yeah.
Your psychological drive, that competitive fire, it stays the same or it even gets stronger. But your body's actual biological capacity to recover,
Going down.
it's linearly decreasing. With age, with accumulated stress, it's just a biological fact.
So if you keep trying to apply that no pain, no gain thing you learned in your 20s to a body that's got some serious mileage on it.
You crash and burn. You end up generating this just massive amount of stress that you simply can't recover from. The sources are so clear on this. That whole 20th century more is better idea.
It's a straight line to injury.
A straight line to injury, burnout, and what they actually call pathology for this group.
So our mission today is to outline this revolutionary blueprint from the source material, the whole strategy of training less, gaining more.
Exactly.
And this means systematically getting rid of what they call junk volume.
Which is just stress that exceeds your ability to recover.
And elevating recovery from this afterthought to the main event.
The fundamental shift for you, listening right now, has to be in your mindset. You have to start auditing the signals your body is sending.
Okay, so pain isn't a badge of honor.
No, pain is data. It's high-value data. And fatigue isn't weakness. It's a critical physiological signal that's telling you to run an audit. Yeah. If you start engineering the system instead of just applying brute force, everything changes.
All right, let's start that re-engineering process. Let's go right down to the cellular level. Why does the body with significant mileage respond so differently to training? Why is my recovery taking longer now?
Well, it's a matter of structural mechanics and metabolism. Yeah. After a hard session, an experienced body enters a much longer catabolic phase. That's the breakdown phase.
You okay?
And the crucial thing is the rate you can synthesize new proteins to repair everything, muscle, tendons. It's just significantly slower than it was when you were a novice. So recovery isn't passive anymore. It has to be seen as the active metabolic phase where all the growth actually happens.
And the biggest roadblock to that adaptation is something called anabolic resistance. That sounds pretty serious.
It is. It really is, because it's what leads to this state of perpetual under-recovery. Anabolic resistance is just.
Yeah.
It's the reduced sensitivity of your muscle tissue to amino acids.
So your muscles get a bit deaf to the signal.
It's a great way to put it. Their ears are, gradually losing the ability to hear the repair signal from the protein you're eating.
So if I'm just sipping a protein shake all day or eating little bits of protein here and there, I might not actually be triggering any repair, even if my total protein for the day looks good on paper.
Exactly. You're simply not shouting loud enough to break through that resistance, to really trigger the repair. You have to hit a specific signal known as the leucine threshold.
And that's what flips the switch.
That's what activates the mTOR pathway, which is basically the cellular machinery that says, okay, team, start building now.
So we need a strategy that ensures we hit that threshold over and over.
And the sun-dried strategy is all about precision, a pulse distribution. We're looking for the minimum effective dose.
Not just more, but smarter.
Right. And the recommendation is roughly 0.3 to 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per meal.
Which for, say, a 75-kilo person is about 30 grams of high-quality protein. That's the signal. Now, the source material also gets very specific about timing. It flags 3 non-negotiable windows for this.
First up, the morning anchor. You have got to break that overnight catabolic fast as soon as you wake up. You've been fasting for 8 hours.
Right, your body's in breakdown mode.
It's in resource conservation mode, so you hit it with 30 grams of protein right away. Second is the post-workout window. This is all about halting the catabolic cascade your workout just started.
The sooner you feed the muscles, the better.
The sooner you start the repair.
And then there's the third window, and I think this is the one a lot of busy people just skip right before bed, the pre-sleep window.
Yes. You have to feed the machine while it's in the repair shop overnight. This means a slow digesting protein like casein just before you go into that 7 to 9 hour regeneration period. It's like an insurance policy.
Okay, so we've got the metabolic discipline down. Now we have to link that to our hormones, because the single most potent, legal, performance-enhancing tool we have,
Right.
it costs nothing, and it's sleep.
It is the absolute foundation of all adaptation. The sources call it the endocrine-sleep axis. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's a programmed physiological repair cycle. You cheat sleep. You cheat every single gain you're training for.
And this is where it gets really interesting. When you look at the sleep stages, what's happening during deep sleep, that first part of the night?
That's when your pituitary gland does its main shift. It releases the vast majority of your daily growth hormone, GH.
And GH is crucial for.
It's the architect of tissue repair. It's absolutely critical for strengthening collagen, tendons, ligaments, the stuff that actually breaks down.
And then later in the night, in REM sleep, the focus shifts.
That's when testosterone production really ramps up. You need a full, high-quality night to maximize that anabolic environment. The second you drop below that 7 to 9 hour window, you risk jacking up your cortisol.
Your primary stress hormone.
Yeah, and elevated cortisol throws your system into a catabolic state. It can literally erase the hard work you did in the gym.
You're undoing your workout.
You're inverting that crucial testosterone to cortisol ratio. So the sleep directive, it has to be treated like a business commitment. You have to optimize the environment. Pitch black to maximize melatonin, and critically cool, 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. That helps your core body temp drop, which you need to get into deep sleep.
That discipline has to carry over from the bedroom to the training plan. You mentioned earlier that for the experienced athlete, injury is usually this: slow burn, an accumulation of fatigue.
It is. It's almost always a management failure.
A failure of load management.
Yes. The old model of just training hard until you feel broken and then taking a week off is just, it's fundamentally flawed for this kind of body. That's why we need strategic deloading, periodization as pathology prevention.
So we use the 3.1 model, 3 weeks of progressive training base, build, peak, then 1 mandatory week of what they call structural fortification. But what's the key to doing it right?
You have to slash the volume, your sets, your reps, your mileage, cut it by 40 to 60%. But, and this is the crucial part, you maintain intensity.
Wait, you keep the weights heavy? Or the pace fast? Isn't the point to rest?
The point is to clear systemic fatigue while preserving your neuromuscular adaptations. If you drop both volume and intensity, you get stale, you lose fitness. By keeping the stimulus intense but the volume low, you clear out all that fatigue, but you remind the nervous system what it's capable of. It's incredibly efficient recovery.
And efficiency requires data. We have to take the ego out of it and stop just going by how we feel. The sources say overtraining shows up neurologically first, which is why we have to track heart rate variability, or HRV.
HRV is your biometric proxy. It's a window into your autonomic nervous system. It's measuring a tiny variations in time between your heartbeats. High variability is good. It means your rest and digest system is in charge.
And low variability means you're stuck in fight or flight.
Exactly. Stuck in sympathetic strain.
But what if I feel great? You know, I've had 2 espressos, I'm ambitious. How do I trust the data over my gut?
That's precisely why the data is non-negotiable. Your feeling can be masked by adrenaline, caffeine, whatever. HRV is the objective truth. You have to use what the sun-dried content calls the traffic light system.
Okay, break down that audit for us.
It's simple. If your HRV is in your normal range, go ahead, heavy loading day. If it dips into amber, so significantly below your baseline, you immediately cut your volume by 30 to 50%. Aerobic maintenance only.
And if it's red?
Red is a mandatory active recovery day. No negotiation. Your system is overstressed. Pushing it won't lead to adaptation. It'll just dig you into a deeper hole.
And this system prevents that garbage yardage training, too hard to recover but too tired to adapt. Okay, let's pivot to the weak link. For the operator athlete, it's often the connective tissue.
Yes. The engine might still be strong, but our tendons and ligaments, they lose vascularity, they lose water content, they get brittle. You can't just have strong muscles. The scaffolding has to be sound.
And just eating collagen isn't enough.
No, consumption is insufficient. Timing is everything.
This is the collagen protocol, and it's based on a specific biological principle.
It's called mechanotransduction. The idea is that a vascular tissue, like a tendon, absorbs nutrients best when it's being mechanically loaded.
So you time it.
The protocol is 15 grams of hydrolyzed collagen with 50 milligrams of vitamin C, taken 30 to 60 minutes before you train.
So the amino acids hit your bloodstream just as you start loading the tendon with movement.
Exactly. And the movement isn't explosive. You paired this nutrition timing with heavy isometric loading. Static holds, a heavy wall sit, a Spanish squat hold. things that promote collagen realignment without high shearing forces.
Let's talk about metabolic efficiency. The old idea of just training versus rest is outdated. We need active recovery, and specifically zone 2 training.
Zone 2 is your foundation. It's low-intensity work, maybe 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. The whole point is to stimulate mitochondrial density. You're building more and more efficient energy factories in your cells.
So the directive from Sun-Dried is strictly polarized training. What does that mean day to day?
It means you keep your EV days truly easy. Zone 1 or Zone 2, where you could hold a conversation. And you keep your hard days truly hard. The absolute energy killer you must avoid is the gray zone, Zone 3.
Why is that gray zone so bad?
Because you're working hard enough to build up stress and lactate, but you're not working hard enough to get the maximum adaptation.
Right.
You're burning matches. You're accumulating fatigue and robbing yourself of the energy you need for the next real hard day. It's pure inefficiency.
Okay, let's talk comprehensive fortification, starting with something simple. Hydration. Our thirst mechanism can get blunted, right?
Yeah, and dehydration is a massive structural risk. The sources talk about fascial glide, how your layers of connective tissue need to slide past each other. When you're dehydrated, your fascia gets sticky. It leads to stiffness, immobility,
High injury risk.
huge injury risk, so you can't wait for thirst. You preload with sodium and you use data.
Weigh yourself before and after.
Exactly. For every pound you lose, you need to drink 20 to 24 ounces of fluid, and it has to contain electrolytes. They are essential.
And for structural maintenance, mobility isn't just stretching, it's a daily diagnostic check.
That's where controlled articular rotations, or CARs, come in. This should be a daily joint hygiene practice. It's not passive stretching. It's slow, active movement to the absolute end of your comfortable range of motion. It's like you're painting the inside of your joint capsule every morning. You're auditing its health.
Last piece of fortification, thermal strategies. Heat versus ice. What's the rule?
Rule is simple. Heat first. Heat is a vasodilator. It improves blood flow, tissue elasticity. You use it before training. You reserve ice only for an acute confirmed injury.
Why not use ice all the time?
Because applying it routinely can actually blunt the inflammatory signals you need for adaptation. You need a little bit of that inflammation to kickstart the repair process.
And to fight that chronic, low-grade inflammation, what's the micronutrient stack?
Targeted fortification. The sun-dried content recommends the stack. High-quality omega-3s for cell signaling, vitamin D for bone density and muscle function, and magnesium, which is key for muscle relaxation, and down-regulating the nervous system so you can actually use that sleep window properly.
This is a deep blueprint. We need to translate it into actionable steps. The sun-dried roundup gives us 3 levels of commitment.
Okay, first, look at the pros. They have completely abandoned the grind mentality. It's all precision. Heavy reliance on biometric data, HRV, sleep tracking, to tell them what to do each day. They don't guess.
They execute based on objective data.
And their nutrition is timed to the minute.
Okay, what if you're on a tight budget? What are the biggest impact-free tools?
Sleep and water, 8 hours of darkness and disciplined, electrolyte-fueled hydration. That's it. And just prioritize timing your protein. You don't need fancy supplements. You need a disciplined kitchen strategy.
What about the middle-of-the-road person? Serious, but not ready for all the tech.
You have to invest in a good heart rate monitor. It's non-negotiable for sticking to your zone 2 and avoiding that gray zone. And you commit religiously to protein pulsing and a 3.1 deload cycle. That combo gives you the highest return.
And for the truly time-crunched, say, 3 hours a week to train.
You focus entirely on intensity over volume. Drop the volume, protect your sleep at all costs, full-body resistance routine twice a week, just the big compound moves, and 1 hour of high-intensity interval training. Cut the junk, protect the adaptation.
To bring it all home, let's do a rapid-fire rundown of the top 10 tips, the actionable checklist from the source material.
Okay. 1. Pulse protein 30 grams plus every 4 hours.
2. Deload reduce volume by 50% every 4th week. Maintain intensity.
3. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Mandatory. Pitch black, cool room.
4. Tendon health collagen plus vitamin C 45 minutes before you train.
5. Listen to data. If your HRV drops more than 10%, it's an easy day, period.
6. Polarize keep, hard days hard, easy days easy. Avoid the gray zone.
7. Hydrate, weigh yourself. Electrolytes are mandatory, not optional.
8. Mobility daily cars for your joints. Think of it like brushing your teeth.
9. Heat. First, heat before you train. Ice only for acute injury.
10. Fortify vitamin D, omega-3s, and magnesium every single day.
The core insight of this whole deep dive is pretty clear. Sustained performance isn't about grinding harder. It's not about more volume.
It's about managing your physiology smarter. It's precision over persistence.
And the big shift, the real takeaway, is to start seeing those recovery protocols, the 8 hours of sleep, the 20 minutes of mobility, not as optional extras. They are non-negotiable calendar appointments, just as locked in as your most important client meeting.
That is a really powerful way to frame it. So since the sun-dried content tells us that injury is basically a failure of management, here's our final thought for you. If you applied this level of data-driven, strategic periodization, this training less, gaining more philosophy to your career or your projects or even your relationships, what other parts of your life would benefit?
What can you start measuring today that you currently only manage by how you feel? The data is in your hands now. It's time to implement the strategy.